Oh, I said he was.
No, I don't know either. Hello, hello. I think we are live. Welcome to our very special soul chat with the amazing Karen Briggs. I am Debbie Lim from Debbie Lim Creative. I am a coach, creative, a mama, and I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to really help bring light working into the light, to help others to step into their spiritual purpose, and also to come into soul aligned success in their business. I do that through multiple different programs and modalities. My favorite way to work is with creative energy. So we're going to be tapping into a little bit of that today. On my left or right, I don't know which way you show up, we've got the beautiful Karen Briggs, who is a power priestess, channel of the rose codes, seer and soul guide. Welcome, beautiful Karen. So amazing to have you here.
Thank you. It's amazing to be here.
Yeah, and it's like really cool, actually. I was thinking about this morning in the shower, getting the shower downloads going, we've been in each other's field for quite some time now. I think we met through maybe doTERRA many years ago when we were on the multi-level marketing train, and then crossed paths inside a coaching container that we were both receiving together. Then we had modality training together with Kanika. Is that right? And now we've just got this really cool kind of weave going on where I love to go and receive from Karen in her energy healing table work. So she does a bit of that, as well as all of her other amazing work with coaching, healing trainings. And we'll talk a bit more about your offers. But yeah, I'm very lucky to receive from you. And then sometimes you come into my space. And then lately we've been galactivating each other, which we're going to share a little bit more about today as well. So we've got a really cool collaboration coming up next week, which is on June the 25th, which is going to be a crystal skull activation and more. So we're still putting that together, and we're going to share more about that throughout our discussion today. So Karen, where are we going to start today? Where are we going to start? I promised, actually, should we start by, can you check and see that it's actually live on your Facebook? And I'll see if anybody can comment, because we've had a few issues with the technology. And oh, look, it looks like we're live. It says I'm live here.
Nothing's coming up on my Facebook feed, on your post.
Let me just press the buttons as well and see if I can check the privacy whilst I'm here. Aha, there we go. Right. Let's see if that can be changed. That's the second time that I've changed it. Try again, Karen. See if you can see yourself. Interesting. Somebody's just messaged me. Are you going live?
Yes, we're live.
This lovely lady and say, yep, should be visible now. So you can see it now, Karen?
I can.
Oh, amazing. Visible now. Woohoo! Thank goodness that we figured that one out. We've done 2 of these already, just with our own little selves, with my other prior guests. But anyway, the replays are there if anybody watching this wants to catch up with Lani from Golden Feather Alchemy. And then we had the amazing Lisa from Sacred Time. And now we've got the amazing Karen from, what's your business called these days, Karen? Is it the same?
Consciously Reconnect.
Beautiful. Consciously Reconnect. If you could sum up your mission at the moment, Karen, what is it? I'm throwing you right in the deep.
Wow. It's a huge mission at the moment. It's involved grid working, which hasn't really been planned. It just happens. Really empowering women to come back home to themselves, to really build a relationship with themselves first, because what I've observed in myself and my journey is that it was an outward journey, and in coming home to myself and really building a relationship with myself, the power of my voice started to come forward. My relationships shifted. people were hearing me for the first time. Well, they it wasn't the first time, but they were really honouring my needs. Yeah, and actually, I now know what my needs are. I think when I first started my empowerment coaching journey, I had no idea what I needed. I was a mother, I was a taxi driver, I was, you name it, a wife, a cook, a cleaner. Um, and yeah, then when I started my coaching training, we looked at needs, and I had a complete meltdown because I was like, oh my God, I've been pleasing everyone else. Isn't that what I'm
Mm.
supposed to do? And
Yes.
yeah,
Oh my gosh, this is so powerful, isn't it? And I think it's something that any wife, mother, or even just like the modern woman is expected to kind of do a lot and be all the things, you know? And so it's kind of where I see we're moving into this really interesting time at the moment where it's almost like we've got an opportunity to create a completely new kind of paradigm around what it means to be a woman. Hi, Heidi. Yes, an entrepreneur, a mother, and I've definitely been tapping into that myself as well, having been through the burnout, the disconnected feeling that I think you're speaking into here, where, you know, we have, especially if you've had babies and family, is that you do have to sacrifice a lot of your own needs and coming first for a baby, right? A baby is that's the one of the most activating things, isn't it? It's like, oh my gosh, I've got a life here. And then the journey, like, you know, we go through motherhood, but then it's like, at what point do we then rewind and come back to what about me and who am I and how do I choose myself? And it's something that we're not really, probably, especially in our age, modeled, or we didn't see, you know, growing up. It's kind of like a societal template, would you say, as well, where it's almost celebrated to sacrifice yourself and put yourself last, like Mother's Day. I used to find that very triggering, all those posts around celebrating the sacrifice, and I'm just here to serve. And it's like, oh, are
yeah.
we?
It's like we've been wearing the badge of busyness as an honour. It's like, oh, you
Mm,
know, I remember years ago sitting in conversation with friends, and it was always, oh, and I've been so busy because I've been doing this. It's like you would almost try and outdo each other with how busy you've been. And the conversations now are completely different.
yeah. Yeah, it was that outdoing, and also I used to observe in myself when I was addicted to busyness big time, but at the same time, the complaining that went with it. So, you know, you'd sit around with your after your busy, exhausting week, and then you'd get the wines out and moan and bitch and complain about it at the same time. So it's sort of like this very weird way of just kind of keeping your energy in a really low vibration, isn't it? So it's really cool. I think that we are now seeing, like, there's so much awakening happening. There's so much coaching and self-development is all on the rise and massively expanding. And it's interesting to me, the connection that, you know, you mentioned grid working, and then we're so quickly talking about women being exhausted, because grid working is ultimately, isn't it, giving that love and healing back to our mama, the earth. And then what are we talking about? Like exhausted mamas. So it's kind of that beautiful parallel journey that we're taking through our bodies and our own ascension that's ultimately going to have that bigger impact on the earth as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of what I guide women with in coaching is the slowing down and the trauma that comes up around, oh my God, is it safe for me to slow down? And then, you know, going out into nature and watching how slow it is, but it's still moving at the same time. It's a beautiful flow of movement.
Mm, I love it. That's been a huge, huge part of my journey as well. So, yeah, I definitely resonate with all of what you're saying. And um, yeah, it's sort of like I've been using the words like we actually do get to have it all, but not by doing it all. It's more like moving
Exactly.
into the state of be it how you do the doing, isn't it? So it's your beingness. Yeah, super exciting. All right, amazing, amazing. So you've got your incredible coaching going on. You've got your amazing energy healing. So if you live in Pukekohe, which is where we are, Pukekohe, or anywhere near, and you are looking for an incredible, incredible energy healer, Karen is like out the gate incredible. I've had some super, super profound sessions with you. And what I love is that, I know you've got modalities like you've got massage, you've got a little bit of Reiki, you've got Rahani, which you're very high up within that organization. You've got your diamond templates of purification, you've got Kanika, you've got your empowerment coaching, which is like incredible. And so what I love is when I come to Karen's for our session, she is just able to channel exactly what needs doing. And it could be anything from like a foot soak in a crystal bowl toning, and then some singing, and then a bit of drumming, and then some incredible energy work. And yeah, I love that about you, Karen. So when did you start coloring out the lines of your modalities and trusting what was wanting to come through in those spaces?
A long time ago, actually. I think, I was trained in a module or therapy, and it was like other things would come in, and if I tried to stop them, it was almost like this heat, this immense heat would rise in my body, and it was pushing what needed to come forward out. So I would just go with it. Yeah, yeah. So
Sort of like trying to hold back the tide.
yeah, exactly. It was. So I started going with what I was getting, and then I think when I did Rahani, the beautiful thing about the way we were taught with that was, yes, you've got guidelines. Yes, you've got things to follow, but you're going to be bringing your own stuff through as well. So it's still under the Rahani umbrella, but don't stop what's channeling through you, because you are a conduit, and what comes through you is the energy that is needed for that person.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you, because I've gotten to benefit from that amazingly, and your sessions are so powerful. So I want to talk a little bit about something else I know about you. So Karen's got all of these incredible modalities, right? And then we were on a little journey in a car a little while back together, and I said to Karen, when are you gonna like fully, I think I did ask you permission to ask you an activating question. When are you gonna fully own, like, and show everybody how fucking magical you are? So Karen is the most amazing psychic. Like, your psychic abilities are very, very well developed. Can you tell us a little bit about, like, when did you become aware of that? Have you always had that ability, or has it been shut down at different points in your life? And maybe just a little bit around, yeah, maybe why it hasn't been front and center of your business or your conversations. Has there been fear around that, or is it just so natural to you that you didn't think to you don't think to kind of mention it?
So I guess I was born with sight. I was born. Yeah, I didn't know people couldn't see what I could see. I used to play with someone called Merlin in the backyard, and these little tiny creatures that I knew as fairies, and would make magical potions and would have fun, and I was always outside. And it wasn't till one day someone asked me who I was talking to, and I was like, what do you mean, who am I talking to? Can't you see them? Because to me, they were right there.
Wow.
And I answered back, oh, I'm playing with Merlin and the fairies. And the look on this person's face was like, okay.
No problem.
Yeah. And then so I think I was about 4 when that question was asked to me. And yeah, so then I started going, okay, if no one else can see what I'm seeing, I started to question it in my little mind.
Mm.
And then what happened, because I would also have premonitions, I would see things in advance before they'd happened. And I had no one to talk to about that. And what would happen was I would sit there and go, oh, what I've seen happened. Is it my fault? Was I supposed to do something to stop that?
Ah.
And so I actually, I'm going to be completely vulnerable and honest here. So I was in a really dark space when I was 16 and I saw a car accident happen, but I thought it was me that was going to pass. The accident happened and someone else passed. So at that point I went, right, that's it. I switched everything off, because why am I still here? What was the message in that? So I shut up. You can't shut it down. It's just there. I fought really hard to keep it at bay. And I think it was about when I was 36, I was looking for answers. And I had actually been to a clairvoyant when I was 18 who said to me, why aren't you doing what I'm doing? You are so switched on psychically. And I went, no, I'm not. And she was like, yeah, you are, and you're going to start doing this when you get older. And I literally took what she said and pushed it as far down as I could, because at 16 I'd said, that's it, no more. And so, yeah, at 36, I sat on the sofa and I went, okay, if I'm supposed to have these gifts, show me. And I shut my eyes and I observed these spinning wheels in my body. And I'm like, what the hell are those? And I heard chakras and I went, oh, okay, I don't know what they are, but yeah. And I went to a meditation class a couple of weeks later, and she took us into these spinning wheels of energy called chakras. And I think my mouth dropped and my eyes opened in the middle of meditation, because I was like, oh my God, so what I heard and what I seen was a thing. So yeah, from there I went on and actually did clairvoyant training. And I had many clients. I had lots and lots of clients, but I had a client and a few things went pear-shaped, as in they took the information and in their perspective, as we do, we all see things from our perspective, and it upset someone else who phoned me and abused me. And so I decided that was it. I'm not doing readings anymore. And the day I decided I wasn't doing readings anymore, I kid you not, I had 30 texts for people wanting to book in readings.
Oh
But
my God.
I declined them all. I was like, no, that's it, not again. And so I thought, well, I can use that site with my healings, because as someone's talking, I'm actually seeing where things are blocked in their body, and I'm feeling it in my body. So that's how I can do readings now, through my healings.
Amazing. Amazing. I resonate with so much of what you're saying, and I'm having a little quiet chuckle over. The only thing that would be different about me is I do not recall a time in my childhood when it was, oh, yes, I do. Ha. Not the daytime. I had psychic visions in my dream state and actually got quite freaked out because I would struggle to differentiate, like, did that really happen? Because they were so vivid and so profound, but a lot of them were so scary to me as a child that I got really freaked out, and I think I did shut that off, and then proceeded to have like quite big nightmares for many, many years. And then once I started my spiritual awakening journey and started opening up to it's actually safe for me to be in this space, now my dreams time is amazing, and I'm starting to work with it almost consciously now, where if there's something I need to know, I'll be woken up so that I can write that down or have the anchor it into this realm that, okay, that's an important piece of information or something. So it's fascinating, isn't it? And I also had people, with psychic reading saying, you can do this too. And I was like, no, I can't. But it's taken me a long time. Yeah. I think I only really, in terms of like owning it and speaking out loud, few weeks ago. The word psychic. I was dancing around the edges, just using all of these other words because not really fully wanting to own the word psychic, because I mean it doesn't mean just one thing, right? It's talking about such a wide range of gifts and what's available to us. And then I was having this little play yesterday as I was driving in the car, and I got a bit of a vision, which I think it feels a bit different to yours. Mine are very, not so much a visual thing, but it's sort of, again, like a dream type of a feeling. It's like, an awareness. And I was asking the question yesterday, what's the difference between this and my imagination? And I was just like, not a lot. So I think it's and this is why I like starting to bring in weaving in creative processes with our channeling, with our awakening, with our expansion of our gifts, because it's all there, isn't it? It's just almost just the permission piece. Obviously we are all different and unique beings, and we have different things that we're going to resonate with or will be really amazing at, but that's incredible. So for you, Karen, if you were having a psychic vision, is it like a movie type of you can see it that clearly kind of a thing? Can you describe what it's like?
It changes, and I think it's the different energies that come through. Sometimes I will see orbs, so I'll see coloured orbs, and then I'll link in and ask who it is, and I'll hear. Other times it's like looking at you. If someone wants to come through really strongly, it's like looking at you, and they're literally standing in front of me. And then other times it's just an absolute feeling and an inner knowing. So I'll speak it all through. So and then at other times I'll smell things very strongly, and the smell and the taste of things will take me almost like on a journey in my imagination. So
Yeah, I love that, and all of the senses coming into it is really potent, I think. So that's something that I've been working with, because a big part of my journey, which I really feel the more we talk about this, has had a big impact in my gifts expanding and awakening into the full sensory, has been emotional processing. And I know you use emotional rebirth techniques in your own embodiment practice, and then I've got my creative alchemy one, which is similar kind of thing. So this is where for those of you that aren't familiar or don't have something similar in your own practice, this is where we actually take 30 minutes or up to 2 hours sometimes, half a day if you're on my VIP that we had, Karen, to really deep into the body, into the energy system, and then to actually unearth and find the emotions that are trapped there. Because once we can feel safe and allow ourselves to feel all of the feelings and let them move through us, I truly believe that that's a big part of where we can be blocking out other gifts as well, when we're not feeling safe with emotions and with feelings and letting things, go and move through us. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, definitely for me also, that is what I found is, when we do the whole emotional process, we're actually we're going into the blind spot, so the mind can't get in the way and take us off track. So we're dropping right into the body, and then it's the release of those emotions, because I guess for me, I've never felt safe to feel emotion, and now it's the biggest gift there is for me when emotion is coming up, and being able to release it in a really healthy way. I feel amazing. I
Mm.
might not feel so great to start with as I'm doing the process, but afterwards it's like, oh, now I know why that was coming up, and this is why I've been triggered by this.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah,
I think, it's so well, it's essential actually, really, isn't it? To be, I think, to be responsible as a coach or as a healer or someone that's holding space for others, that we are doing our own work. Because for me, when I'm on top of that, it makes it, I find it really, really easy for me to tune into what's mine and what's other people's as well, and just be able to play in and out of that with just so much clarity. And I'm sure that our clients can feel that sense of safety that we hold as well, where they know that it's okay for them to cry or scream or rage or have whatever feelings are coming up for them.
yeah, absolutely.
So I had the pleasure of hosting Karen for an extended VIP Creative Alchemy session the other day, and it was so much fun and wildness and freedom and channeling and all the things. So as soon as Karen and I connect, we're just like, oh my gosh, what's downloading is this? And I've just seen that. And we seem to have this great tennis match of what's alive in the field, what's going on in our bodies, how that relates to like our own journey in the collective. And like our conversations are so cool. I love them. And so we connected a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? And straight away we're able to kind of weave together a whole lot of pieces for you, for your what you were journeying through with something that was arising for your own body. So we rolled into uh, the healing bed, which is currently the desk. It's right underneath here. And again, same thing. I work in a similar way as you, where it's like we used some Kanika, our amazing bone matrix therapy from beautiful Corey J, along with coaching, questions, Reiki, crystal bowls, like whatever wants to come through comes through. And then we moved into some breath work, and a breath work session followed by a creative release, which is when a person's in that space and I'm holding that space for them, then it's like what I feel, I keep just hearing like body of work. It's almost like what's been trapped in the body wants to be shown. We're bringing that unseen realm that, we might see in our psychic vision into an actual landed, visual format. We'll share a picture of Karen's amazing creation expression in the comments underneath here. And then we just finished off with some beautiful divine feminine receiving to just anchor it all in. So can you share a little bit more about what that experience was like for you, for anyone that's interested in my creative alchemy process?
It was absolutely profoundly incredible. I wasn't nervous. I thought I would be, because anger has been a huge emotion that I have held down. But I was ready to really let it go, let whatever had to come up, come up. And Deb held me so beautifully, right from the healing to the breath work to then the rage coming through, that it was literally that I was so in my body, and it was no head was involved. There was no fear, and I could let it out. It was my body leading that and allowing it to process all the anger. And yeah, I even got to cut things up.
Do love a little bit of a optional destructive process. Yeah, lots of things to destroy it.
Yeah, and then the painting was, like I heard, put your body on the canvas, and I'm like, really, my body? But when I did it, then I realized why my body was asking to go on that canvas, because it was rebirthing. I was rebirthing. So yeah, it was just so profound, and I would highly recommend it to anyone. It is incredible.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, such a potent process, something that actually I just developed through I'd done so much coaching, energy work, and mindset on this one particular issue that was really holding me back in my business around shame. And I just couldn't seem to shift it. And I was like, there's something else here that wants to happen. And I went into my art studio um, and set up sacred space, and then got 2 colors of paint, and I was like, I just want to get this out of my body. And I just started doing breath work only for 1 or 2 minutes, I think, and then some light language came through, and then I just started speaking and shouting and raging out all of the things around this issue that I was, still so deeply, deeply angry about. Again, the anger from something I've been holding since a child. So it's a really long time. And so I threw some things and I made a big mess. And then I just sat there and was like, okay, I can't just leave it there. I need to now co-create something else to replace that, because I actually felt a big release in my physical body from the area which was causing concern. So that was amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, this has actually just shifted something huge. I could physically feel it. So then I was like, okay. And I actually was listening to guidance then of like, just choose another color, put a different kind of music on, and just like, what's on the other side of this? And without overthinking it, just letting that come again, like you say, from the body, from the heart. Like we're finger painting we're talking about here. So that means it's coming from our heart, right? So that's the truth. And so powerful to then bring in something else. And from that moment, like, yeah, I had such powerful shifts, because we're activating something that's then going to shift the trajectory for our whole lives. But yeah, the power of embodiment work, hey, it's just really, truly amazing. And I think the something that I learned when I first discovered all about the Blu-ray beings is that's unique to them is the power of the Blu-ray of creation as an alchemical tool to turn your lead into gold, so that we don't, it's not about just rage releasing, but then we can actually make something beautiful out of it. Like as an example, I've got the piece over here. Do you want to see it? What it looks like now. So I'll often paint over and over and over them too. So that first, hopefully you didn't see that I'm wearing my slippers again.
Oh.
So the first time that I did it, it was just this brown stuff all over it. It was just the brown. That was how it was feeling about the issues that I was working through. And then I think I splattered maybe some orange. But then I used this for a creative freedom party that I held online, where we were doing some yoga and tapping into where we felt blocked in the body. Like I think that was my wrists and shoulder blades at the time. And then we put on some music and danced and just like threw paint around. Then we did some blind expression to Vivaldi, and it was just like the joy and the lightness and the shifts that came from that. And plus it's like, I don't know, I've had people offer to buy that. Not sure that I'd sell it, but it's incredible, isn't it? How we can, hello, beautiful Lisa, how we can turn something that's potentially so heavy within our fields into something beautiful. And I think that's what we do as coaches. That's what we do as healers. We're transmuting dense energy into light. We're transmuting heavy thoughts into different thoughts where, we are the creative alchemists. Yes, Heidi, you were there actually on that, I believe. We were painting with like toothbrushes and crazy stuff. It was so much fun.
I think that's what I found really mind-blowing about the creative process was the colours that my body was choosing to put on that canvas, and then letting it unfold and unwind, and to see the darkness to start with, and then this beautiful gold light coming through at the end. It was incredible.
Yeah, so powerful. Thank you so much for sharing a little bit about that. That's amazing. So where should we go to next? Well, actually the back of my neck just did 2 big clicks. So following the body wisdom, I'm just trying to rewind in my brain like how we started talking about all of this, Karen, but actually here it's staring me right in the face. So I facilitated also with you an amazing photo shoot where that was an incredible couple of days together too, where you actually landed the sacred no. So at the start of the call you were talking about reclaiming your voice. And then, of course, we've heard where that's been shut down. As you were sharing about shutting off your psychic powers, I could feel that in my throat, because this is our self-expression, isn't it? So if we can't share our gifts, where does that go? And I've got a theory that a lot of this suppression goes into the womb, because there's so much disharmony in the womb of women, which is just put down to hormones or I don't knownness. And it's like, that's not it. It's like this is about the journey to really opening the throat and feeling safe to be our magical selves as well. Particularly at the moment, this feels like we've got a lot of opportunity for gifts coming online. But anyway, to rewind to the photo shoot, or did you want to add anything into that, Karen?
No, I don't think so. I think it did start at the photo shoot, actually.
Yes, the sacred no was one of Karen's containers. Will you be repeating that, or is that what was?
Yeah. Yes, I will. I'll probably recreate it. Recreate it, add some things and take some things out and recreate. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're always up leveling, right, in all of the containers and things that we often get to come with us. Right. So we were on the photo shoot and Karen said, I've got something for you that wants to come and be with you. So at that time I was, I think, downloading into my blue hair the Keepers of the Blue Flame program. Again, yeah, that's gotten majorly galactivated. And so she gifted me this amazing crystal skull, this blue guy. So I want you to just check out his head. And yeah, we were just pondering what crystal this is, and we're not sure. Maybe Heidi will know. So it's got some dark flecks in it, Heidi, because Heidi's the crystal expert. Yeah, I don't think it is a fluorite. Anyway, so Karen gives Amazonite.
Thank you. Yeah.
Maybe. How did she get out? It's interesting. The little specks in it actually look kind of like grey matter. So he's been sitting with me for quite some time, and then look, as we've said, I got a tattoo and I sent it to Karen going, what do you think of this code that's come through? It's an amazing code. And then she sent me something back which just activated like 25 different things in my body. And there it is, Heidi. Yeah, could be a Amazonite. And then each time we get together, there's just been a little bit more and a little bit more. So we've been talking about tuning into these different points of energy that connect within our head as we awaken to the blue diamond templates within. We've recently both been feeling a lot going on within our skulls. So I'm sure the fact that we've worked with Kanika bone therapy is really, really helping with this process, because when I feel that tension, I'm able to unlock it and then get a little bit of a visual and download about what that is. Karen's been doing the same. And so we got together and started having a little chat back and forth about what this is all, what is coming through here. For me, I'd also been feeling that there's a big activation wanting to happen around C7, the back of our necks. And what I've been shown is that we're able to unlock that if we're at the right place in our journey. Not everybody, some people are ready to unlock that, and within that is a remembrance of okay, I will send that to you, Heidi. Yeah, thank you. A remembrance of a lot of lost gifts, particularly from Atlantean or Lemurian kind of parallel lives, or however you want to refer to lives in other dimensions and realms. What happened next, Karen? Skulls were activating. We started chatting. We started connecting. We started channeling.
Yeah, and then I think after the Venus Rose activation on Friday, it all just went boom, boom, boom.
That's what it was. So thank you. I knew I was missing a piece there. I was thinking, and then I'll let you head to where we're at now. So Karen hosted this incredible activation, meditation journey, whatever you want to call these amazing things that we do online the other day, which was a Venus Rose activation, and it was so incredibly amazingly profound, and I was on that. So I don't normally attend a lot of stuff because I'm all about creating and not, not consuming too much these days. So I'm very, very choosy, but that one I was just like, I'm getting up. I even made my kids get up at 6:30 and go on the school bus because I just knew I had to be on there. So there you go. We love our intuition. And you're so right. Since sitting in that meditation with you, it is like that in itself has really switched on this. It's almost like a mission, a remembrance of like, oh, this is my mission. I was in the middle of launching Rebels of the Light, but I didn't have the clarity of vision. This is a program that I'm running. I didn't have the clarity of vision of exactly what this was. I knew it was a space where we were not learning modalities, but we're almost uncovering modalities, where we're going to be, in a sort of more of a peer to peer space. What does this look like? How's it? What's the structure of it? It's not like a normal coaching container. Getting all in my head. And then I sat in Karen's incredible event, and then it was just, we got into a WhatsApp chat, channeling back and forth, bouncing back and forth, piecing all the pieces together. And this is my favorite part, actually, Karen. So thank you so much for doing that with me, because it helps you, it helps me, but it's almost like, that power of one and one is not two. It's like what we created when we open that portal together as a partnership is so amazing. And so that's what's going to happen within Rebels of the Light. I'm going to pair people up so that they've got their own, like, channeling buddy. So that in between the coaching calls, or the whatever we want to call them, the light lounge sessions, they've actually got the ability to expand and have that other person to bounce it all off. Because when you're bouncing by yourself, you can lose your basketballs into the ether, can't you?
It's that whole coming back together, I think, as common unity. We have, because that's our power center as women, the community piece, but add that in with the common unity, like what we're really passionate about. And when we do start bouncing it off each other, that's when it really reawakens the codes of remembrance within us. And it's right, let's do this. Let's birth it out.
Yeah. So we decided to take it and run with it, because why keep it all to ourselves? Because I put a little something on my stories, and I had a bunch of people. Now my cheekbone is really hurting. I put something on my stories and about, are you feeling, pressure in the back of the skull at the moment? Have you been getting a lot of headaches? There's actually, what it feels like is that this is an opportunity for us to start working consciously with the light that's wanting to come into our skulls at the moment, to reawaken these crystalline essence, if you like, and potentially activate either another element of your work, or ascend your gifts that you already have. Maybe there's new ones that want to come on board. What else do you see kind of happening there, Karen?
Yeah, it's
I know, in a nutshell, I was like, how do we
describe this? Well, it's definitely what you've been talking about, the womb and the skull. The sacrum, the womb and the skull are huge, big portals. And I guess when we're working, we're really helping people to unlock whatever's been trapped in there, to unravel and unwind, so that they are connecting to all they are, not just this human body, but all that they are.
Yeah, and all that they can be within their human body as well, right?
Exactly.
This is very much like, as much as we've got an event. I'm just talking ahead. So we've got an event next week on June the 25th. So this is coming up on Tuesday at 7:30, which is going to be a crystal skull activation and more. So we'll be just putting together all the other pieces so we can really explain this fully to you, what we're seeing, sensing and feeling, and how actually it might support you as a light worker, as an ascending being in a human body, because ultimately we are seeing pieces there with the tailbone wanting to anchor. I'm seeing a big piece around the, let's call it the lower back for now, where we're maybe plugged into power sources that aren't really serving us. So we'll be looking at how we can kind of disconnect from unhealthy sources, where we go looking for, love energy or source energy outside of ourselves, I guess you'd say, systems of thought that don't serve, and really starting to anchor the safety to connect into more of the spiritual realm while staying really, really grounded. And there's a big piece in here around the throat that we're seeing a connection to. So I guess that's what really would relate into the womb piece. And also the back of the skull, where this is key for feeling safe. So it really feels to me, speaking out loud now and off the cuff, that this is around deeply anchoring the safety to expand rapidly in our magic.
Yeah. And really honor we are creators, but that oneness of creation, it's allowing us to bring that fully through instead of cutting off parts that we've hidden.
Yes. And then feeling like we've got to do all the other stuff in life alone, which brings us back to that first part of the conversation where we start becoming all things.
Yeah.
And we're not actually connected into the one thing, which is like a self-fulfilling energy that is freely available to us if we, drop a lot of the fears, and the fears and the judgments and the amazing. So we'll drop some details on that in the comments. Look out for that. It's going to be super fun to get super galactical with you, and also we'll be doing some major energy work for those that want to come onto that to receive. I think it's going to be super profound.
Exciting.
It's exciting for you. Then there's also an option, to go deeper on that journey with myself and Rebels of the Light, which, if you've got Lemurian Atlantean remembrances happening right now, or you've got the buzzing and ringing in your ears, which is calling you to actually tap into the truth that's in your heart and unlock these sound codes that are wanting to come through, and this is what's going to really awaken the skull. Or if you're feeling really blocked in the voice and not safe around that, Karen's works with the rose codes, and I feel like that would be an amazing pathway as well. Karen, what have you got coming up that might support after the event?
I am bringing through, at the moment it hasn't been birthed, but I'm bringing through a program that will be in regards to the rose codes and activating parts of our body so that we can bring that there you go, there's the name, remembrance back, just like that.
Perfect.
Yeah, because
it's interesting that you say that, and we've both just gotten that now, because I added on to Rebels of the Light, Temple of Remembrance was what I heard. So you can have it too. I don't know in the word remembrance, but like this is it, right? It's not about like we don't need to learn, it's already there. So it's kind of just peeling away anything that's in the way of that and anchoring the safety in the body to fully receive it, I guess, and express it.
Yeah, because as you've been talking, that's what I keep keep hearing. So this is, we were priestesses in Atlantis, in Lemuria. So it's bringing all that priestess knowledge and wisdom back into this now, into this physical body.
Yeah.
I
love it. It's so exciting. Feeling the ancient mysteries stirring within. And as a coach too, like we bring a unique perspective because we can see the patterns and programs and the ways that plays out for women around, like, for example, busyness. Busyness, I believe we create busyness as a way to avoid being in our full power and our magical gifts, because we've probably potentially got a remembrance of being a part of maybe the downfall of Atlantis or the destruction of Lemuria or something like that. And so we shut down our creation energy, because part of the creation cycle is destruction And then we can, and then we've got our societal templates about like nice girls don't scream and rage and shout and all of that as a part of it. So it's sort of like bringing us back into the safety of our power.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so exciting. And what else, if people want to work with you, Karen, where do they find you and what else have you got going on?
So I have got my amazing website designed by Deb. So that's www.consciouslyreconnect at, I think it's .info. There are some programs on there. I've also got an incredible membership opening again on the 29th of July. And it is called Unity because I was working with a group of women that I take meditation with, and it ended up not just being meditation, but they wanted to learn more and they wanted to know more. And so I started just bringing in all these threads, and from there I went, wow, so why not take this wider? Why not do this online and have a membership where they are getting the topic of the month? So the first week's, I'll sit there and feel into the energies and a topic will come up. And then we'll do a meditation and an activation around that. In the following week, I do readings. So they just pop in whatever's come up for them around the topic, and I'll send them a reading back, and then we do hot seat coaching around that. So I'm using Kanika with that. So I'm using the beautiful bones, the breath and the belief work to help release. And then the following week's ERT. So yeah, that's there.
So ERT is what we were speaking of earlier, an emotional rebirthing technique without the paint. That's what Karen takes you through. That sounds incredible. What a membership. Oh my gosh. So if you want a taste of Karen's work, that'd be a great place to start. And then if you want to go deeper, you work with clients one-to-one and as well as your group programs that you launch regularly.
Yes, definitely. So I have VIP clients, or I've got a container called Quantum Connections. So I designed that because it's only half an hour. It's a 12-week program. And in that time, I can go real deep and release really quick. But what also comes with that is a WhatsApp group that I've named the Sisterhood of Shame Slaying. So we have this 3-step process where we uncover the shame, we speak about it, and then we reframe it, because we can see, you know how shame's like an oil slick. It keeps you down, it keeps you heavy. But once you start speaking,
Stealing your idea.
once you start speaking about it, you free yourself, because you say, well, actually, who told me it was wrong? Why am I ashamed of that?
I know. And as soon as you bring it into the light, it's so powerful, isn't it? But what I loved about your process there is that you've got the reframe, because I have shame alchemy in my groups, but I'm thinking, you know what, I might add that on there. Bring the reframe too, like, okay, well, it's been cleared, and that's what, we don't want to stay stuck in that, do we? We want to then, and now I get to choose that, because it doesn't have power over me anymore.
And I think, with the quantum connections, that's a beautiful thing. So I say I'm a woman's empowerment coach, but my goodness, I'm open. There's so many beautiful men out there that are wanting to dive in. They're wanting to clear stuff right now. And I have 2 on my quantum connections in my group at the moment.
Awesome.
That, they're wanting to break cycles. They're wanting to hold space. They're wanting to be seen as equals with women instead of the I'm higher than you, I'm lower than you.
Yeah,
So,
that's it.
yeah,
I think it's a big part of our healing, is that we need to hold the space in our hearts to bring them in through us. And actually, and anyone that's watching this, like separating out the patriarchy and what that system is from men, like those are two different things. And what I
oh,
see in my work is that we easily meld those together and we start kind of, making men the problem, when it's like, actually, this is an inner union piece for all people.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. What an amazing conversation, Karen. I think that's probably us for today. So amazing. So if you want to connect with Karen, we'll put the links to her Facebook page, which is Karen Briggs. And then you've got your Facebook group, Consciously Reconnect. Is that still running? Yep.
That's still running, yeah.
Group where you can connect in there. Instagram, she's In Touch 615, I think. We'll put that
That's
under there.
correct. Yep.
And just stay tuned for our incredible event that's coming up next Tuesday night. If you, if you resonate with what we were speaking into, that's like not even the tip of the iceberg of what we're going to dive into in that. Just probably end up being a good 90-minute session where you get to really deeply receive. And there's also a little bit of workshopping at the start where we're going to take you through a process that you can do so that you can actually start to look at what you might be plugged into that you're ready to disconnect from it in some small ways. So just kind of disconnecting from the unhealthy hive mind and the matrix and starting to regather sovereignty that aligns to this remembrance. So there's that, and then you just get to really fully receive both of our magic as well. So super exciting. So thank you so much for being on here, Karen, and speaking so candidly and so openly. I'm really on a mission to just normalize what it is to be the magical people that we all are, the light workers that I believe we all are, the star seeds that I think we all are. So thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for being you.
Thank you for having me, and yeah, thank you for helping me step out of the closet.
Oh, is this going to be the name of my
Yeah.
podcast? What's the name going to be when I launch a podcast in October? Apparently, better get moving. Out of the broom closet or something. Cool. All right. I'm going to love you all and leave you. Thank you so much, Karen. Thank you, everybody.